Okay, let's start this webinar. Okay, let's start with a little bit of music. Okay, I'd like to welcome you all to the webinar this evening. Let's get started. Okay, I'm just going to open up a screen for you all out there. Time to get going. It's 8 o'clock on Tuesday evening, December the 1st. I'm your host, Alex Chisnell. And what I'd like you to do, first of all, is just let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, and you can see the screen, which should start with how to double or even triple your income and clients in 2016 with one of my favorite images and quotes: believe you're born to achieve great things. So all I want you to do, like I say, is just post up for me before we get started, and just post up in the box there, bottom of the screen. And let me know that you can hear us loud and clear. Okay, like I say, we're just getting started today. Okay, can you just let me know? A few people post up for me. That's great. Thanks very much, guys. Okay, like I say, just getting started now. Just checking that we've got the right sound quality. So let me know that all of you can hear this loud and clear. Okay, so today's webinar is how to double or even triple your income and clients in 2016. I'm just going to make sure that we are recording this as well. Okay. Okay, so just post up for me, guys. Just getting warmed up now. Just waiting for other people to join. Hope you've all had a good day so far. Whatever you've been doing, whether you've been training clients, working on your business, doing some marketing, doing some admin, whatever that might be. Just let me know what you've been doing. Post up down the bottom. I'm just going to bring up the main screen for you now. Okay, so that was our opening screen. Going to switch to the next screen now. Just like you to post up, let me know that you're seeing this. Okay, so you should have yourself a picture. Surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. Firm believer in that myself. Okay, well, like I said, I'd like to welcome you to the webinar this evening. And my name is Alex Chisnell, as I mentioned before. Okay, I'm just going to switch that music right down for you, open up the screen, and we're going to get started. Okay, like I say, my name is Alex Chisnell. And like I say, surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. What's your mission? Post it up under the bottom of the screen for me there. Type in what your mission is if you have one. If not, start thinking about what you want to do and what you want to be remembered for. My mission is to help 10,000 people earn £10,000 at least a month on a consistent basis. And that can be trainers, therapists, instructors, entrepreneurs, whoever that might be. But that's my mission. I'd love to know what yours is, so please share. Okay, moving on. Just do a little introduction. That's myself. Like I say, Alex Chisnell. I'm founder of Not in the Gym Personal Training, also the Body Clinic, which is a range of a brand of sports injury clinics. I'm also a personal trainer, sports therapist, coach, writer, and more recently a business advisor and mentor for Virgin Startup. So just post up down the bottom. Let me know what you do. What are you? Are you a trainer? Are you a therapist? Are you an instructor, entrepreneur, fit pro, whatever you call yourself, whatever you do? I'd love to know a little bit more about you. So please post up on the bottom of the page. Love to have everybody participating this evening. So I can see we've got quite a few trainers, different types of therapists as well, sports massage therapists, beauty therapists, chiropractors, physiotherapists, everybody under the sun by the looks of things, which is great. Okay, well, going to move on and tell you exactly what we're going to cover on today's webinar. And what I'd like to believe is this is going to show the difference between success and failure. So I'm going to start off with a little bit, giving you some background on myself, some case studies on clients that I've worked with, and lessons that you can learn that you can apply in your own business. That's the most important part of the webinar today, what you can take away and implement straight away into your own business. And at the end, I'm going to stay on for a Q&A session. So any questions that you'd like to ask, please write them down as you go along and let me know. At the end, more than happy to stay on and answer any questions that you may have. Before we do get going, please, and this is for your benefit to get the most out of the webinar today, do switch off your mobile phone, shut your door so you've got no distractions at all in your area where you're listening, watching this. Grab a paper and pen. Do close down any other websites, applications that you've got on so that you've just got this up, especially things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Shut them all down. Easy to get distracted. I'd love you to get the maximum benefit from this. I appreciate you investing your own time, taking it out of a busy day to check in with me. And like I say, most importantly, it's how you can apply the content from this webinar into your own business, and the best way you can do that is by eliminating all distractions so you get the most out of this. Okay, so moving on to the agenda, just to give you timescales on what we're working with. So I'm going to start by just telling you my story. Should take us about 10 minutes, no more, and then move on to the case studies, which is part of the meat in this sandwich, so to speak. So talk through some clients that we've worked with, and how you can then apply this in your own business. Should take us another 15 minutes. So that's take us just short of an hour. And then, like I say, I'm going to stay on and answer any questions that you might have. So we all have a story to tell. I'm sure you all agree. We all certainly do. And my story, boom, there you go. There's an old picture. The king of knitwear, Richard Branson himself. That was my first boss, and that's how my story started, really. And it's very funny how life has a habit of coming full circle, because I'm now working with him again. This time freelance, not working for him, essentially working as a freelance business advisor and mentor, helping entrepreneurs launch businesses from every sector imaginable, really, of people like fitness professionals looking to open studios, grow their own businesses, right through to app developers, to one the other day, archery company, so making bows, long bows that used to use in the 14th, 15th century. People growing shops, opening them in all different towns, food and drink products, right across the board. And essentially, the same lessons can be applied in every business that I'm going to teach you today. But sort of moving back to that time there with Richard and his wonderful jumper. I originally joined Virgin Atlantic Airways to travel the world for free, which I loved until I was made redundant and inspired by Richard to change career and change my life, really. My passion was sports, and I also loved coaching, so I put the two together and I retrained as a personal trainer. However, I personally couldn't believe, not being from the industry, that on a 6-week course, only half a day was actually spent on how to find clients and make a living from doing this. That completely threw me, I have to say. All that time, we all do it because we want to help people, but there was no content on the people bit. I get all the different exercises and nutrition advice and the anatomy and physiology, which is what we're all excited to do. How many different exercises we can learn, how much knowledge we can accrue about nutrition and really help our clients from both angles. But there was literally nothing on how to find clients, how to keep clients, and I know none of us sign up to become a personal trainer or therapist because we want to become an expert in marketing, want to become an expert in health and fitness. So I do get that, but it did surprise me that there was nothing more on that. So after I did my training, I was pretty much left with this. No clients. You might recognize the picture. I don't know. Maybe you've got a few clients. Maybe you've got more than a few clients. Post up in the question. Let me know how many clients do you have. Post up in the bottom of the screen. Let me know. I'd love to know how many clients you have, what kind of people we've got here, which part of the journey you're on. Are you at the start of your journey? Have you been doing it for a few years? Have you been doing it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years even? And where are you at? So do you consistently attract new clients? Do you manage to retain those clients? Post anything up like that. It's useful information for me to know what kind of people we've got here and what stage of the journey you're on. So the first thing I thought that I needed to get clients was a website. So I approached a friend of mine. Boom, there you go, website under construction. So I approached a friend of my wife's who'd built websites and asked her, and she just had a baby, proposed that if I trained her for 12 weeks, she'd build me a website for the new year. Music to my ears. This was in the September. So come January, I was expecting a brand new shiny website just in time for when I expected prospective clients to be looking for a trainer, as we all do, the new year. Well, she did deliver me a website in January, only it was the following January, another 12 months later. So not what I was really expecting, I have to say. So I was broke. Boom. That was me right there. No money. Spent all my redundancy package from Virgin Atlantic on my training. Plus, I had a family with a wife and 2 young children to support now. So, what did I do? What did I do? Well, I decided to build a business. Not on Necker Island, like here, Richard's private island, Entrepreneur Island. But it's what I decided to do. That was the solution. As far as I saw it, was to build my own business. At the end of the day, no one was going to do it for me. I've been to look at the big box gyms, your LA Fitnesses, your DWs, your Fitness First, etc. And it kind of threw me that, again, a bit like with doing the training and only getting a half a day, they were asking me for money to work there. I thought the whole point of getting a job was to get paid, but I was paying them. And again, that was part of the equation I didn't get. And I took one look at the gym which I was being offered by fitness agents, which was an LA Fitness down here in Poole in Dorset. And it was like that picture I showed you earlier. It was empty. I kid you not. There was not one person in there exercising. And sure, it was in the afternoon, but I thought, if this is the worst, how good does it get if there's nobody in here? So anyway, like I say, I decided to be inspired by my old boss, Richard Branson, and build myself a business. So firstly, I decided that I needed to define my niche as a personal trainer, and that was somebody, for me, who specialized in sports therapy. And I got a lucky break. Well, you know what? It's not a lucky break. People say, oh, you caught a lucky break, but hey, I call it perseverance, because I contacted every single facility in the area I live in and surrounding area to rent space, from small studios to leisure centres, and not just by emailing people or phoning up, but literally going there and knocking on doors myself, meeting people, speaking to people, getting my face out there, getting recognised. And, did I get lots of no's? Yeah, of course I did. I got loads of no's. I did. But I kept on knocking on doors until the manager of Leisure Centre gave me a break, like I say, and let me rent a room there. Let me use some space. So I grew that small room, and it was a small treatment room where we were doing sports injury, sports massage work. And I grew that to what became a team of, at 1.5 people is how many I had. So I had 3 therapists. I'm second on the left there. So I had those 3 therapists there. Those 3 guys started with me, and I then took on a personal trainer, then took on a full-time admin as well to help me. And we then opened a second clinic. This couldn't have been more different. This first one was in a big, dirty, great leisure centre, and that had its benefits, and it also had its downsides. Dealing with the council and all the red tape that comes with that. And this scenario here, this had a gym, a studio. I'd call it a very big studio, and this was in Sandbanks in Poole, which many of you may have heard of. It something like ranked the 7th out of the top 10 most expensive places to live in the world. So this was music to my ears. It was a brand new yacht club with a cafe, restaurants, lots of other practitioners. Like I say, a big studio. And I was sold the dream, I guess, is how I would phrase it now. And we also opened a boot camp. So we did a boot camp in a local area, which was, again, fantastic location on a village green, surrounded by restaurants, cafes, boutique shops. We also specialised at this stage in at-home personal training, and within that, we had a database of well over 2,000 clients, and we got that in months, not years. That was literally done in months. I kid you not. And did I work with over 2,000 clients myself? Well, of course I didn't. I couldn't work with 2,000 clients. That's why I took a step back from the business. I wasn't 100% hands-on myself. I took it as my duty was to go from being a personal trainer and therapist to a business owner, which we all are, whether we're one-man bands or whether we grow to have a team. It might be your dream to stay as you are, keep it simple. I wouldn't knock that, I tell you, because simultaneously, and the key word is simultaneously here, I set up a company called Not in the Gym, which was to help other personal trainers. There's a picture of me and my wife and kids with the launch of that second clinic in Sandbanks. And like I say, simultaneously, I set up a company called Not in the Gym, which was designed to help other personal trainers who didn't necessarily want to work for a big box gym, but needed help finding clients. So I had the 2 clinics. I had the home personal training business. I had a boot camp. I had 4 staff to manage. And what happened? Well, I nearly lost my mind. Horrendous picture. I know. Absolutely horrendous. And that's not me. But that's how I felt. I really did. I spread myself too thin. I had no focus. I expanded far too quickly. I didn't know my numbers. I wasn't tracking my numbers as I thought I thought I was. I thought I was indestructible, but no one is. And what happens? Well, your stress levels go through the roof. I literally turned into one of my clients. One of your clients. I literally stopped exercising. That's the first thing that went. I just started working harder, and I wasn't working smarter. I was just working harder. So I was working more and more hours, but I wasn't focused. I literally put on weight, sat at a desk for 10 hours, 10, 12 hours a day, ended up with back pain, sciatic pain. I nearly lost it all. It was a very fine line, I have to say, between losing absolutely everything, going bankrupt. But what did I decide to do? Well, I decided to get help. Not from a funny little green man called Yoda, but I couldn't help not getting a Star Wars reference in at the moment because, well, who isn't excited about the new Star Wars movie? But yeah, I decided to get help, and I got a mentor, and I've had a number of mentors since then. A mentor or coach, whatever you'd like to call that person, but essentially somebody who'd been there before and done what I had done, and had come out the other side smelling of roses and had done it successfully. So I invested in getting myself a mentor, and I also invested in my education. So by that, what I don't mean is, don't become a course junkie and sign up for every single course that's out there. Whatever it might be. Signing up for a new GP referral course or postnatal course or a new kettlebell course, whatever it might be. Don't become one of those junkies, who do that. But I wanted to learn how to become a better business owner, how to market my business better, how to make more sales, how to become a leader, all of those things really. So I literally spent tens of thousands of pounds on all of those areas: sales, marketing, leadership, personal development. I'm a huge fan of. Never used to be. Thought it was mumbo jumbo. That was before I actually looked into it. And I think the Americans are a great example with this because they don't think you finish your education when you finish school or university or college. That they believe in continually improving yourself throughout life, because we never stop learning, and I'm a huge advocate of that now. So combination essentially of having a mentor, investing in my education, and learning from the journey that I'd already been on, I was able to put together a system. Now, you're coaching clients, and my mission is to coach you on sales and marketing required to get serious results for your business. Why do your clients hire you? Essentially because you take them from A to B. whatever that might be. They follow the program or the system that you designed for them, and you might have made that yourself. You might have adapted it from your training course, but essentially, what you have from a consultation to putting a program together to help them reach their goal, regularly measuring their fitness levels, their body stats, reporting on that with them, getting them to fill out a food diary, reviewing that regularly. You're putting together a program, you put together a system, and it's not the same for every client, sure, but you should have a skeleton framework that you work with everybody, and you adapt it for each and every client who's got different goals, different body stats, etc. And that's what I look to do. We're putting together this system, so 5-figure Fit Pros success system, and it's like a combination, like I say, of learning from the lessons I had, the education that I invested in, and having a mentor to take my hand and lead me the way, really. So I've got a question for you. I'll just skip through those. I'm going to go back to those. But what is the biggest challenge in your business right now? Who can answer me that question? What is the biggest challenge in your business right now? Okay, so have a think about that. And I'd love to know your answer to that. So just post up, let me know what is the biggest challenge in your business right now. Okay, it might be you struggle to retain clients. I don't know. Is it, again, consistently getting new clients into the business? If it's promoting your business, marketing your business, struggling with having the right systems in place, is it problem you have with time, managing your time effectively? Is it not having enough money, not being able to do the things that you want to do? Let me know. Okay, and it's like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the webinar, it is funny how life comes full circle. It's going to go back a couple of slides. So one more. Let me go back one more. Come on. What's going on? There we go. So Virgin Startup. So that's who I'm working with now. So kind of crazy being back at Virgin after all these years. But this time I'm working freelance and helping. It's really rewarding in helping entrepreneurs launch their businesses, and it's right across the board. Like I say, whether it's food and drink, whether it's tech, developing apps, whether it's traditional businesses, people opening, for example, a reptile shop, a tattoo shop, or really standard blue collar businesses essentially, compared to people I'm working with who are projecting, developing apps and projecting millions upon millions in revenue. It is right across the board. That's what we help people do, how to build a business, not necessarily an airplane or a rocket ship, but I love that graphic that they came up with, how to build a business. So you learn lots of different skills, how to help people, and hopefully we can help you in what your biggest challenge is in your business right now. What I want to let you know is essentially, how to earn, an extra £2,000, £5,000, £10,000 a month. It is very possible. I wouldn't say that if I hadn't been there myself, from earning less than £2,000 a month to earning less than £5,000 a month. earning under 10,000 a month, and now consistently earning 5 figures a month. It is very, very doable, and it's doable in months, not years, to make that transition for your business. Okay, so moving on, I've got some statistics for you. Okay, 8.2 million people in the UK are gym members. That's 13% of the population. And these stats are designed to show you whether I think we're in a growing industry, whether we're in a declining industry, and what the opportunities are for you. So that 13% of the UK population, there are 80,000 personal training clients. There are also 2 million class users within that. And moving on for some more stats, that means that 87% are, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself now. There are 87% are non-members. So when you saw the earlier stat, 13% of the UK were gym members, well, 87% are not gym members. But within that 87%, 1 million are bootcamp users and another 3 million are class users. So that gives us 292 exercises per personal trainer if we accept that there are 14,000 PTs currently registered in the United Kingdom. That's what the average PT salary is, 26,000 a year. But that's average. You should be aspiring to be earning 5 figures a month, not 5 figures a year. And an alarming stat is the fact that 50% of fitness professionals who start in the industry are not there in 5 years. For me, that's huge. That's why I set up Not in the Gym. That's why I'm doing this 5 Figure Fit Pros to help more personal trainers, because you spend 2, 3, 4, whatever, however many £1,000, but you spend thousands of pounds to become a personal trainer, and to throw it all away after less than 5 years is not a great return on your investment. I'm sure you'll agree. You're investing thousands of pounds into a business, you want to be doing it for longer than 5 years. So for me, there is a huge opportunity out there for fitness professionals, huge opportunity. And that's why we're here today on this webinar, to talk about this opportunity and how you can make the most of it. So I'm going to talk you through case study, client that we work with. Example of somebody that I work with is Matthew from Southwest London, who, when he came to me, was a fresh-faced personal trainer, as you can see, incredibly fresh-faced, who'd literally gone straight from his training course to his nearest Fitness First. He wasn't a natural salesman. I struggled selling to clients cold, approaching clients on the gym floor. I think he gave away something like, I remember him telling me, 50 free sessions. He also offered pay-as-you-go sessions for like £25 an hour or something. Didn't have any structure to his packages and his pricing. You offer pay-as-you-go sessions. What are you going to get? You're going to get pay-as-you-go clients. People with no commitment. People will turn up one week and call in sick the next. And if you're charging £25 an hour, you're going to get £25 an hour clients who, again, aren't committed to being there. He wasn't getting them to pay in advance on packages. So, again, there's no incentive for them to turn up every week and make sure they're getting their value for their money. So what do we do? Well, first thing we did with young Matthew was plan for success. And by that I mean, we did some goal setting. We put a plan in place. We find out what he wanted to achieve. And we put a plan together to achieve those goals, to get him from point A to point B. This is where he was now. He'd literally, like I say, left Fitness First after a couple of months. Literally had one client or something the whole time he'd been there, 1 or 2 clients, take him up on his 50 free sessions. And he wanted more for himself. He wanted more for his family. He paid for his training course. So we identified where he wanted to be, how much money he wanted to be earning, how many hours a week he wanted to be earning, and we came up with a plan on how he was going to get there. And the first part of this plan was to determine, and same goes for you guys, got to come up with a plan first of all, and secondly, you need to determine who your ideal client is. And I don't just mean physically, but I mean, how old are they? Where do they live? Are they married? Are they single? Do they have kids? We built up a picture of his ideal client, the kind of people that he wanted to work with. We needed to get specific about this. You can't say that you are going to work with everybody, that everybody is your client, because you can't market to everybody because it would cost you a fortune. Do you think, for example, BMW market their cars to the same clients that Vauxhall do? They don't. Completely different target markets, different income ranges, for example. Just one thing to pick up on there. So after we got clear on Matthew's ideal client, we could then get him visible. So come up with a plan on how to make Matthew more visible. He didn't have a website at that point in time. So, if we've identified his ideal client, we then need to work out how those ideal clients are going to be able to find him, how Matthew is going to find them. And to be able to do that, he needed to be visible. So when they were looking for a personal trainer in his area, he was the one they came across. So how do you get visible? Well, there are 1,000,001 different ways on how to get visible. I'm going to give you just a few examples of how I did it. It's a rubbish quality picture, but this is just to demonstrate. So the guy on the red top there, Steve Harris, it's a BBC reporter, and we put together an event, and Steve came down. You can see the microphone in his hand there. Steve came down to report on the events. Media outlets always looking for stories. So if you could put a story together for them already, then you've won half the battle. Instead of asking them to come down and report on you, then you need to put something together to make it of interest to their readership. So we did that. We put on an event, and he came along and he did a little demo of the event. We nearly killed the poor bugger. Even though he looked like a healthy chap, but we put together a challenge which we called Dorset Fit Test. So are you Dorset's fittest? And again, we got coverage in local magazine. As you can see here, we put together something for our clients, which then grew something that we thought would add value to them, add a bit of competition to them, get their juices flowing, keep things interesting, reward them. So we developed a series of different tests to test strength, power, agility, and that included things from like rowing machines to farmers' walks to sled dragging to paddle boarding, testing every aspect of fitness we could. And we thought that was quite interesting, and luckily for us, so did the local press. Another way, so that was for Not in the Gym, wrote an article on something I was passionate about, which was training outdoors outside of a gym, and that was for Premier Training, who I did some of my training with. So I went back to them and say, look, this is what I'm doing. Would you be interested in writing an article on it? Yeah, we'd love to write an article on our ex-students, show people what they're getting up to and what other ways you can make a career in this industry. So that's what I did. And again, that's another example of what you can potentially do. And even though this looks like the smallest one, a little column on the right-hand side there, this was the biggest one, really. And it's just my local paper. That's all it is. But it's got expert at the top, which is great. My positioning in the local marketplace was the expert in going to say health and fitness, but it says health and beauty there. And sure, you'll agree I'm no expert when it comes to beauty, but the health side of things I could definitely go for. And this chap on the left, he also got in there in the local paper, but he had a series of exercises he was doing there. But me, I was there, and that was, ran for a short period of time. For me, this ran every single month, boom, boom, boom. And again, how do you get breaks like that? Well, that's the funny thing, really, with this. Again, you might call it a lucky break, but again, I call it perseverance. I literally called up this paper repeatedly, and did I get no's? Yeah, of course I got no's again, all the time. And then I phoned up another time, and again I worked out who to actually speak to, instead of just speaking to secretaries and receptionists who are the gatekeepers for the people you want to get hold of. The internet's fantastic research tool these days, because you can get right to the people that you need to speak to by just looking them up online. So I phoned up, and one day, literally the lady I spoke to me, who was the health and beauty editor, said, "You don't fancy writing a regular column for us, do you? Only our regular columnist has had to quit because they're too busy." I just thought, too busy? Are they mad? Get someone else to write it for them. So I just said, yes, sure, I'll do it. And then afterwards asked, what do you want me to write about? How much do you want me to write about? How many words do you want? What subject matter? And it was a great gig. She said to me, health and beauty editor, can write 250 words, or was it 350? I can't remember. One of the two. And you can write about whatever you want. Whatever you want. So it was a fantastic tool for me to be able to package my business and position my business as the local experts in health and fitness, and package up all of our marketing essentially into that regular column. So again, it simply was perseverance and determination to get there. So like I say, there's a million different ways you can get visible. Having a website is the something that you simply have to have these days. And this is an international magazine. I want to show you the company that spent a lot of time with, and I'm number 7 there. You can see we've got Americans, Australians, Canadians, Germans, Asians, right across the board. And that month I was number 7. This was the month that things changed for me. I literally implemented new pricing, packaging, new sales script, essentially when I put this system together. And I went to £9,226, my best month ever. So that's how much revenue I brought in 1 month. And again, like I say, this journey happened just over the course of a couple of months. It wasn't years. At that stage, like it says, I was averaging £3,500 a month, and this was nearly 3 times what I was used to earning. So this was huge for me. This was the turning point, essentially. So you need to find out how to reach them, find out how to reach your clients. That is key. I can't underline that enough. And there are so many ways to do that. We could talk all day on the different ways, but I just wanted to show you a selection of how you can do that these days. And another thing you need to do. If I might go back to that other one first. I don't think I'm finished on that one. Let me talk a little bit more. So, find out how to reach your clients, and by that I mean, I think it's really important. So, you need to work out, how do they communicate? Do they communicate on Facebook? Do they prefer Twitter? Do they prefer Instagram? Or are they professionals and they communicate via LinkedIn? Of course, they may not communicate via any form of social media. And you have to be more creative in how you reach them. But of course, it can be done. And if they all communicate via Facebook, or they all communicate via Instagram, then you need to be on Facebook. You need to be on Instagram, or you can't communicate with these people. You can't get more. If that's your ideal client and you want more of them, you need to be able to communicate like them. Okay, Rant finished. And you need to become a problem solver. And what I mean by that is your clients have to come to you because they have a problem. Okay, so for example, they may have a problem with their weight, or they might have or with my business, we frequently had clients who were training for an event like a marathon or a triathlon, and their bodies kept breaking down on them. So they were then becoming demotivated, they were becoming disillusioned, and we not only became a solution to their problems, e.g., we fixed their broken bodies, but we were then also able to offer other solutions. As a personal trainer, can you motivate your clients? You should be able to. I mean, obviously, they need self-motivation, but you should be able to help find that motivation within your clients and hold them accountable, coach them. And we were able to do all of those things. So we were able to essentially get paid twice for that client. They were paying us for personal training. They were paying us for sports therapy. And some of them were taking our boot camps as well. So they were paying us 3 times. Instead of having to find new clients all the time, you need to get more money from your existing clients. So become a problem solver. Think about your clients. Ask them what other challenges do they have. You should speak to your clients on a regular basis when you're training them. You should have a relationship with them, and you should be able to ask them, what other challenges, pick up on what other challenges do they have in their life that you might be able to solve too. And you need to get results, no surprises here. This is a given. You've got to be great at what you do and get your clients the results that they're looking for. And if you do get results, you need to provide great value. And people like you, people will be prepared to pay you whatever they want to charge for your services. So, you get to a point where price is the secondary consideration. The first consideration is they want to work with you because you get results. And if people like you and if you get results, then price does very much become a secondary consideration. But you've got to become the local expert, as I touched on earlier. You need to become a problem solver, and you need to become a local expert. So for me, like I say, it was the PT combined with the sports therapy. I could get people through training for a marathon, a triathlon, whatever it was they wanted to accomplish. Excuse me, I want to take a quick drink. Thirsty work. And for Matthew, going back to earlier, these are all things we worked with him on. These were all part of the system that we put together for him, took him on that journey to get him from A to B. And for him, it was weight loss. It was women between the ages of 45 and 55 who had high disposable income in Southwest London. What are you the local expert for? What's your USP? What's your niche? What's your specialism? What would you like to be known for? I'd love to know. So post up in the question box there. Let me know what it is that you'd like to be known for, or you are known for already. And like I said earlier, don't become a course junkie and sign up for every new course that comes out. Don't get me wrong. As I said earlier, I'm all for improving your education, your skill set. But first of all, become the master of the qualifications you already have. And then market the hell out of what you've already paid for. And only then do another course. And then become the local expert in that course and market the hell out of it. And lastly, you need to create a community. What do you do for your clients right now? And I mean right now. I don't mean get them results. I train them. They're all givens. What extra value do you give your clients? And what do you give them when they refer someone to you? Do you reward them and personally thank them? And I don't mean by giving them an extra PT session. That new client could be worth a minimum of whatever your entry level package is. For example, if it's a 12-week Kickstart program, you charge £35 a session, and you offer a small discount for paying in advance for 12 weeks. Is that for you? Is that new client £350 minimum for 12 weeks. And if you keep them, boom, that client turns into a couple of grand a year client. What do you reward your client with? Do you seriously just give them a free personal training session? What else can you do for them? How are you going to reward them? If you referred somebody yourself, imagine what it would be like if you got a personal handwritten letter in the post with a voucher for a massage with your local beauty therapist or sports therapist, or a couple of tickets to the local cinema, or a night out at a local restaurant, whatever your budget can stretch to, how would that make you feel if you received that? Would it make you want to refer more of your friends? Damn right it would for me. I'd want to refer everybody I knew if I knew I was getting that kind of stuff every week, every month. So introduce your clients to each other. Put on an event. Like I say, we put on a Dorset's Fit Test, but that's not the only thing. We ended up doing a regular Friday evening paddleboard, which was awesome. We used to have 20 to 30 people out on paddleboards. It was quite eerie, actually, when you looked around on the water and it was still, and you've got 20, 30 people all silently paddling behind you. It was a cool sight, and people loved it. And people used to phone up, message us, when's the next one? Is it next Friday? Is this a regular thing? Can I bring my friends? Damn right you can. Bring everybody you know. So, not saying jump out on the water right now, potentially, although you can. But how about a pre-Christmas or pre-New Year event you can put on? Maybe it's coffee and croissants, or ditch the croissants maybe. A group class beforehand, followed by you getting the coffees in at your local coffee shop, or a pre-Christmas drinks party. Smoothies all around, obviously. Whatever it is, be creative. It doesn't have to be difficult. It can be as simple as that. But make them huge fans of you and what you do. Build a community, big community of raving fans who love what you do and shout about it to everyone. So just to recap, plan for success is determine your ideal client, find out how you're going to reach that ideal client, then get visible so you're able to reach them. And once you're able to reach them, be able to solve their problems, be able to get results for them. Become the local expert in your area so everybody knows about what you do and who you're able to do it for, and create a community around that. Bring people together so people talk about you. Another question for you. So, how many clients do you have right now? Do you have 10 clients? Do you have 5 clients? Do you have 2, 3 clients? Do you have 20 clients, 25 clients? I've spoken to thousands of trainers over the last 4 or 5 years, especially through Not in the Gym. And most trainers seem to want to have between 20 and 30 hours a week of coaching. That's kind of the typical range that when I speak to people, but they typically have under 10 clients. 99 out of 100 trainers I speak to have less than 10 clients, and they want to get that extra 10 plus clients, and get those sort of 20 to 30 hours a week training they want to do. Are you the same? So just post up, let me know how many clients you have right now. Okay, thanks very much. So, as I mentioned earlier, my mission is to help 10,000 fitness professionals earn a minimum of £10,000 a month doing what they love to do. So I created a 4-step system called 5-Figure Fit Pros to get to whatever success means to you. And everybody has a different perception of what success is, whether for you that's a certain amount of money, whether that's a certain number of hours working a week, or a certain number of clients that you want to see. Or maybe it's just spending more time doing what you love to do with the people that you love. I don't know. We're all different, and success means different things to different people. And who's 5-figure Fit Pro success system before? Well, another Star Wars reference. I know, I couldn't resist. Sorry, I'll go back to him. There he is. I find your lack of knowledge disturbing. Well, it's for people who not necessarily don't have enough knowledge. Like I said earlier, whenever when we all signed up for personal training courses or therapy courses, we weren't signing up to become sales and marketing experts. We wanted to gain knowledge in health, fitness, nutrition, but it soon becomes abundantly clear we also need knowledge in sales and marketing. So this is for people who don't have enough clients, people who aren't earning enough money, who don't have enough knowledge when it comes to consistently getting new clients, consistently retaining clients, and people who don't have enough time to learn how to do all this themselves, and don't want to spend thousands and thousands of pounds on sales and marketing, essentially. So that's what we created, was the 5-figure Fit Pro success system. Myself, Alex Chisnall, like I say, through learning the lessons I did, and not wanting fellow fitness professionals to make all the same mistakes that I did, and by investing in my education and by getting a mentor, and since that moment working with a number of different mentors, once you've learned something from one mentor, it's good to, if you want to learn other things, to find the expert in those fields and what they can teach you. So that's what I've done. Created this system. I just want to talk you through how we put the system together, and how this relates to your business, how you can implement this in your own business. So 4-step system that I created, and I'll personally teach you, is the system that I've followed to become a successful 5-figure Fit Pro myself. So it consists of 4 modules designed to save you time, money, and, like I say, all of the mistakes, and there's been a lot, in getting to where I am now. Just like you take your clients from A to B, like I mentioned earlier, I want to help you get to where you want to be. So 4 modules consist of client avatar, the client generator, the client converter, and lastly, the client keeper. So the first one, the client avatar. Who's seen the movie Avatar? Well, here we start by putting together your ideal client, just like we did with Matthew in that earlier example. We put together your ideal client avatar, and we get to work through a special workbook that we've put together to drill down into exactly who your ideal client is. And by that, we determine their age, their sex, their marital status, their income status, their job, their interests, and we get clear on where they hang out, who they hang out with, how do they communicate, what are their pain points, and why do they need you? What their pain points are, i.e., for example, they're upset, they don't like how they look, they don't like how they feel. So how can you tap into that? Why do they need you? You need to provide the solution to that problem, to their pain. And only once we have that can we work out how we're going to reach them. Another part of this work, this module specifically, we also get clear on your goals. What does success mean to you? Is it a monetary number, like I mentioned before? Is it £10,000 a month, for example? Or is it a number of clients? Is it 30 clients a week or 30 hours a week? Is it a place? Is it a place like your own studio? Is that success for you? Is that your goal, to own your own place? Or is it something intangible, like I say, being able to spend more time doing what you love with the people that you love, which it is for many of us. That's my overriding goal that drives me, is wanting to spend time doing what I love with my family and friends. So whatever it is for you, we'll define it. We'll also do some work on mindset, getting a positive mindset. So if you can dream it, you can believe it, and therefore you can definitely achieve it. It's a very famous quotation, but it is 100% true. A second module that we have is our client generator. And here we've got some great tools where, based on your close rate, i.e., what's the percentage average of clients that you sign up from consultations? Is it 50%? Every 2 clients you see, you sign up one of them. Is it 75%? Is it 80%? I don't know. Everyone's different, but we can generate how many client leads you need to reach the goals that you set. So, for example, if you want 10 new clients, but you only have a 50% success rate, a 50% close rate, we know that if you want 10 clients, but you only close 5 out of every 10, we need to get you 20 leads, put you in front of 20 people, and you will close on 10 of them. There's your 10 clients. Okay, so we've got a great tool that we've put together to generate that for you. We also have an income calculator, so helps determine your packaging and pricing, different programs that you put together based on what income targets you have. So we can work out if you want to earn, for example, £10,000 a month, and you want to see 20 clients a week, that calculation will then determine exactly what you're going to charge for your prices. It's all done for you. And we'll define your business model as well. What's going to get you to reach your goal? If it's currently working, if your business model is working, then great, we'll stick with that. If it's one-on-one coaching and it works, great. If not, then we'll tweak your business model, your packaging, your pricing, till we get it right, till it's the vehicle to get you to where you want to be. And module number 3 is our client converter. So how successful are you at converting those leads into paying clients, as I mentioned earlier? What is your current rate for that? And if it's not where it wants to be, then this is where the client converter module comes in. Are you asking the right questions? Are you highlighting their pain points? And are you positioning yourself as the solution to their problems? Well, we'll provide you with a tried and tested sales script that will position you as the local expert in your area. And these work. I've seen with my own staff, client conversion rates increase dramatically. Seriously now, examples from as low as 25% rate, so 1 in every 4 clients signing up, to well over 70, 80% and beyond even. And in the client converter module, we'll also work on your internal marketing, again, using our marketing calendar as our template. And if you're not familiar with having done this before, then your internal marketing is those clients that you already have. So communicating with your existing clients, and that's by sending regular email, writing regular blogs, putting on events, whether that's a workshop, whether that's a get-together, like I said, for your clients, an event you want to put together, and making strategic alliances. Again, that moves on to our external marketing calendar, which brings us nicely through to our client keeper. Sorry, got ahead of myself again. Client keeper is very important. Come back, client keeper. So, as I said, a client keeper, he will put together an external marketing calendar using our templates. So, are you just relying on referrals in your business? If so, are you actually asking for them at every opportunity? And we'll put together a referral marketing system for you. And as I mentioned earlier, are you rewarding them for referring?
And do you have touch points at every step of the client journey to keep them engaged? And I mean, things that don't cost much money, like sending a client a personal letter, a birthday card, a Christmas card with a voucher in it. A strategic partner, like a local beauty salon or a hairdressers, these are the kind of people you need to be speaking to, who essentially fit the bill for marketing to the same ideal clients that you market to, but aren't competitive. So it's not another personal trainer. It's not another, if you specialize in weight loss, it's not someone else who's looking to help them lose weight. Your current clients, do you email them on a regular basis? Do you write blogs with content that they might find useful? Have you ever put on an event for them, as I mentioned earlier? And whether it's a nutrition workshop or even a barbecue back in the summer or a pre-Christmas drinks, whether it's in a local cafe having coffee or whether it's something around your house, get them to speak to each other, get them to refer, get their testimonials, before and after photos, capture that proof that what you do works. So many trainers I speak to do not get before and after pictures because they're too scared to ask. Well, you should be celebrating your client's success. Not all clients will want that broadcast over your social media, so you will need to ask them first. But a lot of people will want to do that, will want people to see the results that they get because they feel so fantastic. Their self-worth goes up. They know they look fantastic, they feel fantastic, and they want to shout it from the rooftops so everybody knows. So you need to be asking, first of all. Okay, so the 5-figure FitPro system will save you money. You'll be learning from someone who's been there before, i.e. myself. It will save you time. We have done for you PDFs, spreadsheets, workbooks, sales scripts, etc. We've put this all together and you can tweak it for your own individual business model. But it should be the same whether you're a plumber, whether you're an electrician, whether you're a personal trainer. It's essentially the same advice that we're giving you, how to market your business, how to sell to clients without being salesy. Nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody likes to buy things, as just demonstrated with Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Everybody likes to buy, but no one likes to be sold to. So we package that up for you in a really intuitive way, where you are presenting the solution to your client's problem, their pain points that we talked about earlier. So there'll be accountability with a weekly question and answer session. We're going to identify your ideal client. We're going to replicate your ideal client and generate new client leads consistently. We're going to convert your ideal client into paying clients. We're going to keep your ideal clients, get them to spend more with you and refer their friends. And lastly, create a community. Now, who would want to know how to do that? Who would want to save money, save time? Who wants to identify their ideal clients, replicate them, generate new client leads, convert them into paying clients, then get those clients to spend more money with you and refer their friends? If that's you, let me know. So I wish I had something like this around when I was a trainer 10 years ago. But there was nothing out there. And all I had to go on was half a day on my course and then getting a book in my local Waterstones called Personal Training for Dummies. That was basically it, which didn't get me too far. So I just want to take you through a couple of testimonials of who again doesn't love getting testimonials from clients that they work with. This is from Terry, personal trainer in Essex, who says the support and marketing have proved invaluable. This has made me feel that Alex does all he can to help me succeed as a personal trainer. If I could go back in time to when I was starting out as a personal trainer, I wouldn't spend hours trying to promote myself on Facebook. I wouldn't spend a fortune advertising in local magazines and newspapers. I wouldn't waste my efforts creating an amateur-looking website. I would just get in touch with Alex and let him do what he does best to leave me do what I do best, train clients. I gained 12 new clients who train on average twice a week. Having tried lots of different options, I can tell you that working with Alex, who has sent me the most client leads in the most cost-effective manner, I've increased my client base and earned around £4,000 directly through additional referrals. So that's additional business that he's got from clients that we've helped him get by teaching him this system, and they've then referred clients onto him. So who wouldn't want £4,000 every single month in additional referrals? I would. There's another one from Alice in Derby, who says, I was a bit skeptical at first, but if you give it time, you'll get a great income. I would highly recommend to any personal trainer. My business has improved through the additional business. Thank you, Alice. So we take away all the risk for you. We offer you a 30-day guarantee. Take all the risk away. So if after completing the 5-Figure Fit Pro Success System, you feel it's not worked for you, then I'll gladly refund 100% of your money, guaranteed. All you have to do is attend every training, of which there's going to be 4. So we're going to have a weekly online training, and you'll just need to attend every one and complete the done for you workbooks and spreadsheets, PDFs that we've put together for this course. And if you still feel, like I say, after 30 days that you haven't improved your business, we'll gladly refund your money, because this offers great value to you. We're walking you through it. So this isn't the price, this is the value. Okay, there's a big difference. This is the value that we are offering you. This is not the price of the course. So the 5-Figure Fit Pro Success System itself is £997 value, and for a very limited time, in fact, till the next 9 people sign up. One person jumped on before the course in a conversation before they even watched the webinar. We're going to offer you these extra bonuses as well. So I'm going to offer add-on weekly coaching calls with myself personally, going to touch base with you every week, and that's another £397 value. You're also going to get Not in the Gym membership for 12 months, which is £804 value. And then we're also going to get you to our marketing team to work with you and put together a Facebook ad and a Google ad campaign for you, which are both valued £97 each, to get those set up and running for you. So the total value is over £2,300 that we're offering to the next 9 people who would like to learn how to double or even triple their income and clients. And price that we have is not £2,300. Like I say, it's just £297 to the next 9 people. And like I say, that includes Not in the Gym membership valued at £804, weekly coaching calls with myself valued at £397, and done for you Google and Facebook ad campaigns valued at £197. So over £2,300 in value, and we're offering this to you for just £297. It's only available for the next 9 people. So if you would like to be one of those 9 people, then all you need to go to is copy and paste into your browser that checkout page, which is on Moonclerk. You literally just enter your card details, debit or credit card, and you get one of those 9 places. But like I say, as soon as they're gone, and one of them went an hour before this webinar, they will all be gone. So it's https://app.moonclerk.com/pay/AS5QBLHJAAS. So that is the rather long-worded checkout page. So all you need to do, like I say, is go to the checkout page. Let me know that you can see that okay. I've just been there myself. I'm going to go there again now just to make sure that it's all working and double check for you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna punch that in, double check. Let's open a new window. Make sure that it works for you guys. Boom. Yep. 5-figure Fit Pros success system, amount 297. Click next. This page is securely encrypted, powered by Moonclerk. So there you go. That's working. I'm going to shut that down, and I am going to go back to the page for you guys. We did that slide ages ago. So I'm going to bring that up for you again. So there you go. That is the checkout page. And I'm happy to answer any questions. That's perfect timing, actually. It's hour and a quarter. So I said it was going to be hour and a quarter in total. So I apologize that I've ran a little bit over. Well, hopefully you've got some questions. So people are asking how much. Okay, a couple of questions. How much do I charge for coaching? So yeah, you can see their weekly coaching calls are included in this. So they're separately $397 for a monthly package of coaching calls. And like I said earlier, you hold your client accountable, who holds you accountable, who coaches you to reach your goals. I've had many mentors myself, both male and female, and taught me different things, both in the health and fitness industry, also in the personal development world, and other different areas of my life. So that's what I'm offering to help coach you through the course, through the modules, with the coaching course. So yeah, sure, I can help you individually coaching, but I think this is a great package deal to get this at the same time. You also, like I say, get the Not in the Gym membership as well. But we do only have 9 places available. And I forgot, someone's asking me about the campaigns. Yeah, we literally get our team here to work with you, set up your own Facebook ad, your own Google ad campaigns, specific to you. Somebody asking, yeah, absolutely. It's based on successful template that we use for our own campaigns, but it's specific for your area. So you essentially determine by working with our team what kind of radius you are looking to attract clients to your business. And now it's crazy with like Facebook. It changed in the last few months. You can literally specify within a mile. You can target your next door neighbor's house essentially and market to them online. So somebody's asking me here, what does flyers work as marketing? They can do. My own experience, they haven't, but I now know how to do them. We just find that online is far more cost-effective way of doing it, targeting the same people. If something called remarketing, which you may or may not be familiar with. So if you, for example, went on Argos to look at buying Christmas presents, and then every time you search the internet, you see Argos ads following you around. Well, that's remarketing. So by going on the Argos page, they follow you, stalk you, basically. It's called remarketing. So that's why you essentially see those ads repeatedly. So you're able to go back to them and essentially keep marketing to those people. So the same as delivering flyers to the same address all the time. I did like a 10,000 when I started. I did a 10,000 flyer drop, and we got one person, 1 out of 10,000, 1 out of 10,000 reply, and I'm pretty sure
his was just an inquiry. He didn't even know what we were. But that was my fault for marketing with a weight loss company. Ha! Huge mistake. And I've done other ones since, but not recently. But there is a way you can fly successfully, and I'll tell you what that is. The way to do that successfully is you pick a very small target market, maybe 500 to 1,000 houses in a specific area, and you market to that regularly. So every month they get your flyer. So you don't do it once and then forget about them. You do it every month. And so someone might not be in a position to buy from you now, but they might be in a position to buy from you in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months. I remember a client, and it was a referral through my wife's business, funnily enough, as a beauty therapist, which is very handy. And I remember her saying to me when I went round for the consultation that she had my flyer pinned to her notice board for a year. I kid you not. That's what she told me. She goes, "It's taken me this long to come up with the courage to get in touch with you." So that was huge. That was amazing for me, like the mindset to the psychology behind that. That the hardest part for a lot of clients is actually picking up the phone and making that call and getting you round for a consultation. So yeah, it can work, but we find these ways are far more effective, and we're looking to do that to help you by setting those up for you as part of this course. Okay, guys, I'm aware that we have overrun. If you do have any questions that I haven't answered, I do apologise, but I am aware that I'm taking up a lot of your time already. It's an hour and 20 minutes. So if you do post up any questions, happy to post those back to you. We'll go through questions that you've asked, and we will get back to you. If you do have any questions, like I say, do ask us. But we'd love to be able to help as many people as possible. Unfortunately, we've only got 9 places available to the 100 people who've been on today's webinar. A couple of people have dropped off now, I can see. But we did only have 9 places available before we started this. I don't know how many are left until we log off and check. But if you'd like to be one of those 9 people, then either drop me a message, alex@notinthegym.com. That's alex@notinthegym.com. Post up a message there, and we'll get back to you in the next couple of days with regards to getting that all organised for you. But I'd like to personally thank you for taking the time out, investing your time in listening to me. I hope you found this content valuable and have some insights on what you can implement in your own business. I'd love to know how you get on. Thanks very much indeed for coming along tonight, and stay in touch. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you now. Bye-bye.